one of the things which I have always wondered in past 10 to 15 years, and which patients, whenever they go to a hair transplant doctor, they say, the doctor says, okay, I will give you this much transplant. They say, okay, your graft estimate is 2,500. What the doctor is trying to say is that I can give you only 2,500 grafts. What the patient is thinking is, in 2,500 grafts, I'll have a full head of hair. So there is a difference between these two. And the reason why the doctor can give less grafts is because less grafts could be extracted at one point of time. Till February 2006, I still remember when we did the first documented beard hair to scalp transplant. I still remember the patient. He was a bodybuilder from UK, tall man, hardly any hair on the body, but he did have beard hair. After that, we have had so many more cases of where we have people from the Orient, the Koreans, for example, or even in Northeast India. Sometimes they have hardly any hair. So, additional donor in extensive hair loss, then you have to factor in the thing that everyone is not a candidate, because everyone does not have lots of beard. So let's begin this. As you all know, that strip has been practiced for a long time and is used in most of the patients to provide somewhere in the range of 3,000 to 4,000 grafts. But in people who are normal 5 or above, that I call extensive hair loss, this much hair grafts is not going to suffice. A bald man does not want an empty crown and deep recessions. If he is going for a hair transplant, if you tell him, okay, this is the only thing we'll give, he'll say, no, I don't want a hair transplant. I'm better off without it. So, when FUE or fuse came along, then the number of grafts increased, because the strip can be taken only from the center of the safe donor area, not from below it, not from above it. Even though those are safe donor areas. For those areas, we can take out FUE grafts. So that increases the number of grafts, but that technique also makes it possible, the FUE or fuse, that we can take hair from other parts of the body, ear, chest, any other. We have even taken hair from the toes of a person. So, but remember, the body and beard hair is not alternative hair source. There will be patients who will come to you and say, just put my body hair, I have a lot of chest hair, just put all the chest hair, don't touch my scalp hair. No, that is not the correct way of doing it, because there is a lot of difference in the growth cycle. The percentage of the time the hair will grow, the percentage of the hair which will be in anagen at any one time. You should not take that risk, right? So always tell them that this is an additional donor area here. And especially in the beard case, we cannot be doing any strip from the beard, and we cannot do suturing on the face. It will look so bad. A person can't hide it. Now, characteristics of beard hair. Whenever people talk about characteristics, they usually think that characteristic means only length. No, it does not mean only length. It means the speed of growth. People, especially in the European context, beard hair growing in one area and scalp hair growing in another area. That will create a problem. So we have to keep all the characteristics in mind. This is an example, a photograph which will show you clearly the immense. The mega session transplant was performed to cover the entire vertex and crown area. The objective was to fill the entire area. I don't want this empty. If you want a higher hairline, you keep a higher hairline. And almost 1,000 beard donor hair grafts were transplanted into the previous strip scars. In this, I would like to say that we even extracted mustache grafts. A lot of time people say take hair only from this area, but we have done in most of our patients even grafts from the cheek and not mean that I am exhorting you to do the same. All techniques are not the same. And for a beginner, trauma is more, you may need scars. So initially, start from here. As you gather experience, you can go to other areas.